You know, sometimes the final score tells you next to nothing about the real story of a game. And that was absolutely the case in the World Baseball Classic, where a total powerhouse met a true underdog. And what happened next was a series of moments that, honestly, nobody saw coming. It's the oldest story in sports, isn't it? The giant versus the underdog. And we got to see that play out between the United States and Brazil in a game that gave us just incredible drama, some truly historic performances, and a really fascinating peek into the future of the sport. And this right here, this really paints the picture of just how massive the gap was between these two teams. I mean, you've got Team USA on one side, the defending champs, a roster just loaded with MLB's superstars. And then there's Team Brazil, making only their second appearance ever with a lifetime tournament record of 0 wins. The mismatch, on paper at least, was just staggering.
So the big question was, how would this whole thing start? With all eyes on them, Team USA was looking to prove why they were the favorites, right from the very first pitch.
And yeah, they did not waste any time at all. In the bottom of the very first inning, with a packed house watching, the champions sent a loud, clear message. And how perfect is it that the guy delivering that message was Aaron Judge? See, he wasn't just another superstar on the team. He was the very first player to commit to playing for Team USA. He really set the tone for their entire championship defense. And with one massive swing, boom! Judge just crushes a 2-run homer. And just like that, it's 2-0. It really felt like the start of that blowout everyone was expecting. But, oh man, this game was just getting started. See, this game was not about to follow the script, because Brazil, even as the huge underdog, had their own story to write. They had their own heroes just waiting for their moment in the spotlight. So first up, we've got a name that carries a legendary baseball legacy, Lucas Ramirez. And as he steps up to bat, his famous dad, the 12-time All-Star Manny Ramirez, is sitting right there in the stands watching him. I mean, no pressure, right? Well, Lucas didn't just handle the pressure. He absolutely thrived on it. He answered Aaron Judge's show of power with a stunning display of his own, hitting not 1, but 2 home runs in this game. And with that, he literally made history. At just 20 years old, Lucas Ramirez became the youngest player ever to have a multi-homer game in the World Baseball Classic. It was just a star-is-born moment on the biggest stage of his life. But believe it or not, the fireworks from Brazil's young guns were not over. In fact, what might have been the most unbelievable moment of the entire tournament was about to happen, this time on the pitcher's mound. Okay, just try to picture this. Bases loaded. The inning is hanging in the balance. And who steps up for Team USA? Of course, it's Aaron Judge. And on the mound for Brazil, a 17-year-old high school senior, Joseph Contreras, the youngest player in the whole tournament. And in this David versus Goliath showdown, the teenager wins. He gets Judge to ground into an inning-ending double play. It was absolutely incredible. So, fueled by these incredible moments from their young guys, you could feel something start to shift. Brazil wasn't just hanging in there anymore, they were fighting back. They were chipping away at the lead and making things really, really tense. For a while, it looked like the US had things under control, up 7-1. But then Brazil just battled back. A 2-run homer in the 7th made it 7-4. Then in the 8th, Ramirez hits his second bomb, and all of a sudden it's an 8-5 game. For a second there, you could actually feel it. The massive upset was a real possibility. But this is why Team USA are the champions. When you push them, they push back even harder. And in the top of the 9th inning, they didn't just respond. They unleashed an overwhelming tidal wave of offense that put this game away for good. The U.S. offense just became a runaway train. Bryce Harper got it started, and the line just kept on moving. They batted all the way around the order, piling on 7 runs in that 9th inning alone. And that pushed the final score to a very lopsided 15-5. And if you want just one number that tells the story of how dominant the U.S. was, it's this: 221. That's how many pitches Brazil's pitching staff was forced to throw. That is a staggering amount, and it's all because of the relentless grinding pressure from a U.S. offense that drew 17 walks and just flat out wore them down. But like I said right at the top, if you only look at that 15-5 final score, you completely miss the real story of this game. Because what we all got to see was something way more compelling than just a big win. And this is what it all boils down to:
On one side, Team USA showed off their immense power. You had Judge's homer, that relentless offense, and the decisive win. But on the other side, Team Brazil showed the world an incredible amount of promise. Ramirez, his historic 2 home runs, and a 17-year-old kid staring down one of the best players on the planet and winning. So that leaves us with this one last thought. Yeah, Team USA proved why they're the team to beat, no question. But in that loss, did Team Brazil show us its own future? A future built on fearless young stars who were ready to take on the world. It's a great reminder that sometimes the best stories in sports aren't just about who won today, but about the promise of who just might win tomorrow.